Confidence is growing in what will be a high-impact ice and snow event beginning Friday and continuing into the weekend. And with Arctic air in place next week, this will be a problem that will continue for a long time. Hi, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Justice. Please let me know where you're watching from in the comment section right now. This storm system will begin to develop on Friday toward Oklahoma and Texas, breaking out in some snow and ice. And then Friday night into Saturday, that storm system begins to move east toward the Carolinas. So from everybody from Texas, really Colorado, east toward the Carolinas into the mid-Atlantic, this is going to be a high impact, and I want to say the word ice first and then snow, because many are going to get a crippling ice storm if the models pan out the way that they have been incredibly consistent for the past 10 runs. Yeah, 10 runs in a row now, we've seen ice and snow in almost the exact same location. So in this video, my goal is to pinpoint exactly what I know right now. And what I know and what I've been telling you about is we get to now within 3.5 days of the storm system arriving, is our confidence will grow or decrease. And in this case, it has grown. There has been nothing that has shown me that we will avoid a winter weather storm altogether. The models just disagree on the fine details, how much snow falls, how much ice falls, and exactly where. But we have good ideas now because for 10 runs, we've been consistent. So if you're new to this channel, please consider liking this video, comment where you're watching from, and subscribe to this channel for more updates when you're done with it, because we promise to give you updates around the clock as this unfolds. So let's get right down to the details. This is the European model showing a significant ice storm across South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, into Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, into Texas. It is significant in the realm of snow, it is significant in the realm of ice, and it is long duration. Folks, I haven't seen a storm system like this since 2014. I have not seen numbers consistently show up like I have seen in the models since 2014. So 12 years now that we've seen nothing like this. So this is kind of one of those systems that makes you pay attention. Now, the ramifications are really high in this, because if we get what the numbers are showing here, either snow or ice, travel will be impossible, difficult if not impossible in many locations late Saturday through Sunday, because this is a long duration 24 to 36 hour event. That's a long time for it to be snowing or icing, and that will have a detrimental impact to the roads and possibly even power if we get what the models are showing here. All right, so there's the European. Let's look at the fine details of the GFS just for comparison. And look, they're uncannily similar. This is the GFS. This is same time frame Friday night. It shows snow beginning overrunning light snow in the upstate of South Carolina Friday night, and then continues into Saturday as snow and sleet, and then ice begins to take over. That orange is a mixture of snow, sleet, and freezing rain. The pink is pure freezing rain, and the blue is pure snow. So for Asheville northbound along I-40, this is mainly a snow event, but sleet will mix in at times, and this looks like a sleet freezing rain event to where it looks like it's raining outside, but it is pure ice. And unfortunately, the models have been very, very similar with this. And the key to this is really two things. This dominant high pressure, 1053 high, and we know that winds go around a high pressure clockwise. That brings in cold air that is just not only there, but reinforced throughout the time frame here. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Arctic air is in place, and you have a low pressure system that's tracking with abundant Gulf moisture. So we have plenty of moisture. We have a cold air source that's locked in. This is a textbook recipe, especially with a 1045 high right here, locking in that cold air on the Appalachian Mountains. And unfortunately, this has the recipe for a large ice storm. Here's the Canadian model just for some agreement here as we go into Thursday. Friday night is the same time frame, stretches out wide here with some big time ice. Now it's a little warmer on the Canadian. It shows rain in Atlanta, but ice along I-85 and a significant ice storm down the basin there. All right, let's look at the impacts from NOAA's Weather Prediction Center. They've got high impacts stretching across Oklahoma through the Carolinas Friday, Saturday, into Sunday. Zooming out on you here. We'll get in a little closer here, and I'll turn the states on. Let me turn that on right here. State boundaries. There you go. All right, so you got a high impact here of some storms. Let's look at what they define things as. So this is a moderate impact in the red. So what you can expect in moderate, expect disruptions to life. Hazardous driving conditions, use extra caution when driving, closures and disruptions to infrastructure may occur. All right, so that's what they're saying here in the red. Okay, that's a moderate. And you got to think about this as a time-based, probability-based map. So as we get closer, it's very possible that those chances go up. All right, let's look at what they define as a major winter storm impacts. And they've got that possible. Now think about to have major impacts locked in this early, it isn't going to be the case. So don't pay attention so much as to the chances as more as the locations. They're expecting possibly major impacts, which defined here on their map is expect considerable disruptions to daily life, dangerous and impossible driving conditions, avoid travel if possible, widespread closures and disruptions to infrastructure may occur. And the reason why is we have this big dip in the jet stream bringing in the colder air. So the northern stream of the jet stream is bringing in cold air, while you have a stout low pressure system. Again, the two combined allow for this to be a major winter storm. And the ramifications thereafter are high because I don't see us getting warm thereafter at all. And that is a big problem because this not only does it get cold with this deep high pressure in here, but it stays. And we stay very cold into next week. Let me show you that. Where's my temperature map? Here we go. Look at this. All right. So we get cold Saturday into Sunday. I don't see us getting out of the 20s Saturday or Sunday for highs. And then you go into Tuesday morning, the European model, our trusted European model, this is 2-meter temperatures. This is not wind chill. This is temperatures. Single digits across the Western Carolinas. This is Arctic air. So refreeze if there is a thaw, because Monday's highs are in the 20s. Oh, that's Sundays. Let me go to Mondays. Monday's highs 30, 32. Maybe there's a light thaw here if you get some sunshine. But Monday night, we go down to single digits and teens. Wednesday's highs 33, so maybe a little bit of thawing. Wednesday night, we're down to the 20s and 30s because here comes our next storm system next week, next Thursday, Friday, bringing in sub-zero temperatures. This is -2 in Boone. This is -4 getting into Asheville. This is 5 at GSP on the European model. This is some serious Arctic air coming in next week, and it even shows the potential for 1 degree above zero at GSP. So that's the pattern that follows us after the storm system is here. Let me go to the GFS just for comparison and to show the different models. Here we are Saturday, Sunday, cooling down. Here we are into Monday. Check this out, 7 in Asheville, 17 in Greenville. Monday afternoon, 32 is the high. Tuesday morning, I mean, this is crazy. This is the GFS is off its rocker, but it shows -12. And again, this is our 2-meter temperature. This is not high up. You turn it back to 0Z, that's 4, 5 degrees. I mean, even if they're 10 degrees off, that's 15 degrees. All right, so just you get the picture here. And into next week, that secondary surge of cold air comes in Thursday, Friday, where we stay in the teens at the very least. Okay. All right, let's go back to snow and probability. Here's a look at all 51 different runs of the European. The control, or the latest model for the European, showed 11 inches of snow at GSP. Now, I am smarter than the model, and I know that a lot of that's going to be freezing rain and sleet. So even if you cut that down in half, that'd be 5 inches of snow and then some ice and sleet on top. But every single model here, except for, I think, 1, 2, maybe 3. So 3 out of 51 do not show snow in the European. And that's probably because they show more ice. The GFS, same story. The actual operational GFS shows 5.5 inches of snow. The average of all of them show about 3. And all of them but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them on the GFS show no snow, and it's probably because they show more ice and freezing rain. So we showed you temperatures. I want to show you totals. And again, folks, this is an early look. This is more for us to compare it run after run. All right, so I'm going to show you the snow first on the European. Now, be careful what you're looking at here. Take it responsibly. But as we move forward here, the European paints a significant snowstorm Saturday into Sunday. All right. Oop, there you go. It's got 15.5 inches near Asheville. It's got 10 plus inches in Greenville. Now, I know that this is all not going to fall neatly and be all snow. If it is, that's honestly better for us, okay? But unfortunately, the European shows freezing rain. and it shows a significant freezing rain. Folks, I haven't seen numbers on a model like this since 2014. I haven't seen it even anywhere close. I've seen, sure, the average model on a winter storm showing us an inch, maybe 1.2. This is freezing rain accumulation of 2.5 inches in Atlanta. Okay, this would rival 2005 and would probably put 2005 to shame, if we're being honest, if the European pans out exactly, which it won't. But even if it's half wrong, say it's half wrong and Atlanta gets 1.25 inches of ice. That's terrible, all right? A half an inch of ice weighs 500 pounds. So it's like clipping a 500-pound weight on a power line and just watching it sag. Especially older power lines, older infrastructure are going to have more problems. And think about that 500-pound weight on a limb. So tree limbs will come down. That's a half an inch of ice. You double that, it's 1,000 pounds. Okay, so you get the picture here. Ice weighs a ton. And here's the deal. Say we get 2 or 3 inches of snow, and then it decides to shift over to ice. You've got heavy, wet snow on top of, on the bottom, weighing those tree limbs and stuff down, and then you get ice on top of it, which weighs more. Yikes, you got a problem. All right, so here's the GFS total snow totals. Let's refresh it, see if we're in the wheelhouse yet. My word, folks. It's got 16 inches in Charlotte. It's got 15 to 18 in Asheville. It's got 18 in Greer. This would be a significant storm for us. And that's the GFS model. Here's the European model. They're not that much different. GFS is colder and has been. It has the snow farther south. GFS has less ice. Let's refresh that one. Less ice where it snows, of course, but it has more ice toward Myrtle Beach, Charleston, really Atlanta south through Birmingham south. It's got the ice line farther south. Okay, so either way you slice it, this is not good. All right, let's blend together all the models. You get kind of an average of them all. Even a blend of the factoring in the high highs, the low lows. You get 6.5 in Asheville. You get 3 in and around Greer. Ice, an average of all the models paints a significant ice storm of 0.3 of an inch of ice up to half an inch of ice. That's averaging all the models together. All right, that's blending them together there. Let's do the national blend regular there. Not out yet. Let's see if it'll go through right here. There we go. Same thing. All right, so here we go. The key here is we've got significantly cold air in place. It doesn't look like cold air is going to be a problem. It looks like that's going to be locked in. We've got blocking showing up consistently negative NAO, North Atlantic Oscillation, which means the polar vortex gets disrupted. So the evidence is all there, and when you average it all out, here's the chance for 1 inch of snow or greater on the European AI model. Now the AI is kind of like checking your homework, all right? So I'm helping my kids do elementary school homework, and boy, some of it's hard. So you double check it, right? So I'm double checking my snow forecast. What does AI say? And AI is basically just a powerful tool that the European can go back and look at former storms and say, okay, here's what I know with the models right now. Let's one up that and factor in history. So for all you history teachers out there, the Euro AI is fantastic in the fact that it verifies what you're seeing based off of old storms. In this case, the Euro AI, combining the knowledge it knows from models versus the models it knows from previous storms, has a 90% chance of 1 inch or more along the I-85 corridor. Let's bump that up to 3 inches. It's got an 80% chance of 3 inches or more in Greer. It's got a 100% chance in Asheville. Let's go up to 6 inches. It's got a 60% chance of 6 inches in Greer. It's got a 90% chance of 6 inches in Asheville. And for 12 inches, it has a 50% chance or greater in Asheville. And it has a 40% chance of 12 inches of snow in Greer. Folks, that's crazy. That's significant. All right, so the writing is on the wall for a significant storm. And like I told you all along, we're going to be mapping this out as we go. Here's the GFS version of that, a 50% chance or greater north of town. All right, so the goal with today is to, see the models come in, verify we're getting a storm, which I think at this point is becoming what, not if. we get a storm. It's becoming certain that we're getting a storm. What's uncertain here is the exact locations of ice versus snow and totals. We know they're high. We just don't know how high right now. All right, so that's what you can expect throughout the day, is verifying this is coming, and then we start to see early indications of totals and locations. But right now, you should prepare for a high-impact storm system that'll impact travel, that'll impact infrastructure, and see what that looks like for your family. What do I need to do to prepare if I'm not going to have the ability to travel Saturday, especially in the afternoon, through Sunday, Monday, maybe even into Tuesday? What does that look like if my family loses power? How do we stay warm? How do we safely stay warm without having carbon monoxide or fire hazards? We see that all the time. What do I need for prescriptions? Do I have enough prescriptions? Do my dogs have enough food? What are we going to do to prepare? Simple as, getting some snow shovels and some salt, ice melt. Okay, looking out for your neighbors. How many times have we had folks slip? Okay, so don't try to do things if this does come our way. And folks, I'm really concerned about what next week looks like, because I see this Arctic air coming in and not letting us melt at all. So this could be a long lasting, back in the old days, you love it when people say that, right? I can remember the storm systems that gave us a week of school off. And am I saying that's going to happen right now? No, but is it possible? Yes. I mean, because the temperatures after this, we're so used to in the South, hey, it snows and it's gone by noon, or it's gone within 2 days. Perfect, right? No, we're going to be sick of it by the time we get into next week, because we're in the highs in the 20s and 30s. Yeah, that would be pretty bad, folks. Okay, more updates to come later today. I promise to keep you posted. And again, if you made it this long, please, after you get out of this video, subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications, let us know where you're watching from, all the good things. And we promise to keep you posted around the clock, folks. That's what we do. That's why we do it. And I am so thankful you're here. Have a good day.